I think the idea was to take a city like Holyoke that is so empty and desolate and bring as many people and put them in one spot, you know, and do something amazing here.
There are all these incredible spaces around downtown Holyoke that could be transformed into so many things. You know, let's say the majority of people who walk through or drive through the city, what they see are boarded up windows, abandoned buildings, and the very few, but the very motivated, see an art gallery, a workshop, a restaurant. Meeting other people with these visions. So when I see certain spaces, I think of what they, you know, what they could be, what type of exciting experience could be created inside that space.
Change locations, be it a weekend, a week, 4 months, and we open up temporary restaurants. We don't write a menu. We sell tickets off our website. It's always a tasting format, whether 5, 7, 10 courses. And alongside of that, while we're building, is a training program where we take guys coming out of federal prison or state prison, and we run them through an 8-week training course with Philp and myself. And at the end of that course, we then hire them on as an employee of Whisk. They do pop-ups with us and basically all the gigs that we get. So that's where we are right now. Those are our 2 goals, and I'd say that's what Whisk is. Phil, you want to add anything?
That's what we're doing right now with the business, but also I'd like to say for the customer, Whisk is a culinary experience. It's something like nothing else. You come in, sit down, you don't look at a menu, courses just start coming out, the entire dining room is eating the same thing at the same time. There's an amazing amount of energy going around from diner to diner, and it's really just, it's the most amazing creative outlet that I've ever experienced. As chefs, we can create whatever we want. The menu changes all the time. We're using local produce. Oftentimes we're featuring chefs from the area where we're popping up, and it's just an amazing format for anything from collaboration to creativity to just like expression of culinary art. I think really we're emphasizing the art when it comes to culinary art. I think what a pop-up does to a community is it really brings people together. When everyone shares an experience like this, it sort of leaves this sort of mystery, what's the next one gonna be? And you know, you get a lot of followers from that. People start to pay attention to what you're doing, what's happening next, and it all of a sudden it brings something to a city like Holyoke. You know,
brings life.
It brings a little bit of excitement, you know, events, like one-time things that you can't miss, you know, only those people that experienced it will experience
in a
that.
theater district that used to be booming and is now boarded up, and that's just, I think if anything, something like this might show just a little hope. Like, look at what it was. Look at what it still could be. Look at what it's gonna be in 10 years. You know, there's people that are young and innovative and have the energy to put it back here. So
A lot of the time, a pop-up happens in a vacant location or an empty storefront or whatever, and like Jay said, it brings a lot of hope and a lot of possibility. It's really, for one night or 2 nights, you're showing people the possibilities of this city. And you know, if something like this was happening every night, imagine how many people it would bring in. Like, we served over 200 people this weekend, and this city is empty most of the time.
Holyoke's that type of city. Holyoke's a very oddball, offbeat type of town where, for me and for many people, it's this experimenting playground. You can try things out here that, you know, wouldn't work other places. You can give it a shot. And to add to that, there's people come out and support those things because there's so little of that, because it's not a major metropolitan, it's not in a major metropolitan area. We're pretty far from Boston, we're pretty far from New York, and all these little cities have to kind of fend for themselves. I was really surprised at like how many people responded so positively, how quickly it sold out, how people would come up to me, to the chefs, to Elizabeth, to everybody who is working so hard to make this thing, run smoothly and make this thing happen, and just thanking them, saying like, thank you for bringing this to Holyoke.
My experience was so wonderful. I feel really grateful to have been a part of this wonderful event. What a fantastic, dynamic, so many things going on, movies, beautiful singing. Very happy with the whole thing.
I think that everyone can relate to food, so bringing a restaurant into a community, it just brings people together. And it's just such a ubiquitous thing, and it just brings a really nice sort of nightlife to a place.
So Deposit was a pop-up restaurant, but it was really more than that. It was a dining and art experience. We figured that we're going to do something, we're going to go all out and make it something that really gets people excited, inspires people, gets people willing to drive, 90 miles to check something out, giving people a surprise, giving people awe, giving people all sorts of emotions. Because people would come up to me and say, a pop-up restaurant in Holyoke featuring chefs from Boston? Or like, what? Like, why? Why is that? I'm like, that's why I'm doing it. Like, for me, everything's why not? Why not give it a shot? Why not create something that clashes with people's perceptions?